Well, hello from Cebu Island, where the suffering of the Filipino people seems without end. Just as the first signs of aid begin to arrive, another storm has hit the very area where the typhoon struck just 4 days ago, leaving behind death and destruction on a heartbreaking scale. Tonight we're in Bogo, and there are a few buildings left intact here. That's a scene, of course, repeated across the region. Our Asia correspondent John Sparks travelled by ferry from the town of Cebu across the water to Ormoc. He reports now from Leyte Island to the east of here, which has been worst hit by the impact of Typhoon Haiyan.
There wasn't much interest today in the boat to Ormoc City, although several dozen climbed on board with bundles of food and clothing. They weren't commuters or traders, and this wasn't a routine trip. For many, the 11:45 ferry was a voyage made in hope. They were looking for loved ones in a region decimated by last Friday's typhoon. Still, the ferry captain told me that Ormoc City was in a terrible state.
They're in a really bad situation. There's no food, no water, no electricity. It is really terrible there.
For relatives desperate for news, the ferry is their only option. But it is an anxious journey. What's going through your mind right now?
My family, they're near Tacloban is Palo, where my one and only sister is living there, and I cannot even sleep for a few days in Manila, taking from the consideration that my sister is, one of the victims in that kind of typhoon.
Have you been able to speak to her or communicate with her?
No, I haven't. We don't have any communication at all with my sister.
One group had a different purpose: to provide aid and assistance to a badly affected community called Tacloban. But they were worried.
We've heard that vehicles coming from any vehicles going into Tacloban there are roadblocks. The people are hijacking the vehicles and getting the relief goods.
But you're still going to go anyway?
Yes, but we're going to go anyway. We need to go.
After 5 hours at sea, Ormoc came into view, and we could see and smell the city. Acrid smoke filled the air as residents burnt piles of debris. The storm had ripped off roofs from buildings in the port, while further inland, entire communities had been demolished. There was no welcome committee. The citizens of this city are too busy trying to survive, and they've received little help from the government. The first food aid arrived today, 5 days after the typhoon. We haven't got very far. The road into the city is blocked. But what we have seen has shocked us. This city of 250,000, a community of churches and homes and businesses, has clearly been brought to its knees. There are few, if any, basic services here. There's no electricity. Residents live in the dark. Some do their washing now by candlelight. In the darkness over there's a long queue of people waiting for bread. I don't know if you can see them. Presently, there are only 2 places to buy bread in this city of 250,000, and this is one of them. Tonight, they were selling rolls, and customers queued up for hours to get them. In this time of need, some have stepped forward. A hotel owner with access to a generator is offering people this essential service, a mobile phone charge. Why is it so important to have a working phone?
Yes, because some of our phones have access to television, because our TV sets are all wet and destroyed. So we need this kind of phone where we could watch the national news, because there's no relief goods yet coming. So we're kind of looking for some information from the national government.
Ormoc is one of hundreds of communities that's been left to cope on its own. But for the moment, people here are making the best of a bad hand. John Sparks, Channel 4 News in the Philippines.